Hey there, drone fans. Rick here again from Drone Valley. In today's clip, I'll list the 15 winners in our 12 Days of Drone Valley Christmas giveaways. Now, you might already be thinking, Rick, if it was the 12 Days of Drone Valley Christmas, how can you possibly have 15 winners? Well, on a few of those days, we gave away multiple prizes, which means 15 people got a really nice surprise over the holidays, and we're happy to do it. Now, I'm sorry it took me so long to get the clip posted, but every year when somebody wins, I send an email. And I wait for a response because I need to have a mailing address to be able to send you the prize. And a lot of times there's some stragglers out there that didn't get the email and went to their spam folder. They're on vacation over the holidays. So I wait and I wait and I wait and I send another email and eventually everybody gets back to me, but that delays the whole process. I also like to wait on some of the bigger prizes to ship them, make sure they got to the winner and that everything is okay with it. It didn't get damaged in shipping. So I give it a couple of weeks to sort of let everything settle. Then I put the clip together and let you guys know who won. Now, this is a bit of an anticlimactic clip because if you won, you already know you won. So if you didn't hear from me, you didn't win. But don't despair. We've got a ton of giveaways coming up this year. But every year I say, keep your emails open. Make sure dronevalley.com is in there. So if we send you something, winner of a prize or whatever it happens to be, you'll get the email and then both of us will be happy because I can ship it to you quickly and I can make these announcements even quicker. All right, so let's get through this. Now, I thought this is going to be kind of boring for most people because I'm listing the names because I told you I would do that. But if you didn't win, why are you going to sit through a clip like this? Well, I thought I'd make it a little bit interesting. So first, I brought my dunking bird out, which is one of my favorite little pastimes. And for you younger viewers out there, this is the original fidget spinner right here for my generation. So when I was a kid, having this dunking bird was a miracle to me. So I love it. I've had it. I love looking at it. And I'll set it up every now and then and let them get a little drink. And this guy is incredibly frustrating because most of them go right in and get a drink. This guy pauses, almost like, I'm not sure I'm going in there. Okay, I'll get a drink and I'll come back up. So I like this guy an awful lot. The second thing I'm going to do is, you seem to like the jokes over Christmas. I'm not a big joke teller, but I like to laugh a lot. So I've got a couple of jokes because I thought as I go through these, I'm going to name the state of the winner. And I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I came up with a couple of jokes about those states? So I'm going to give you a couple of jokes to laugh on. All right, so I got to put my old man glasses on here because I got to read the names. So the first prize was a Blink Outdoor, which is this one. And it went to a gentleman named Matt S. out of New Hampshire. He was pretty happy to get it. It's a fantastic prize. We like it an awful lot. The second prize was a Tello drone, one of these guys. And this went to Vicky S. in Oklahoma. Now, what's interesting about that is a lot of people look at the Tello and they think, it's a toy drone. It's not going to really work that well. She got the drone, put it up, and was just blown away by how stable it was. She sent me an email and said, boy, I had no idea this drone could fly like this. We're having so much fun with it. And I love that because part of the reason we do this every year is because there's a lot of people out there that are thinking about getting a drone. They're not sure. They watch the channel. They kind of wait. So sending them a drone and having them experience that just kind of makes the hobby better for everybody because then they like it. They tell their friends about it and it's all good for everybody that's flying. All right, so that's the second one. The third one was an Echo Dot. And that went to Justin B. out of North Carolina. Now, the first joke I'm going to tell you, and I mean no disrespect to North Carolinians here, but here's the joke. So on his first trip to Boston, a North Carolinian went into a bar, and he saw a woman sitting there, and he thought he'd strike up a conversation. So he leans over and said, do you go to Harvard? And she said, Yale. So he looked back at her and said, do you go to Harvard? Again, no disrespect. I thought that was clever. All right, so the fourth winner for a set of 4 Wise bulbs was Chris P. out of Ohio. We gave away 2 Mavic Air 2 kits, which is a really nice kit because it's got a case and a bunch of other stuff in it. The first one went to Roman S. out of West Virginia, and the second went to John N. out of England. Jolly old England. So we sent it way over there across the pond. He was pretty happy to get it. All right, we had a set of Jobber earbuds. Now, I reviewed the 65Ts, which is the set we gave away. They make a 75 and an 85, and I felt a lot of people said, why didn't you review the others? I am going to review those, but the 65T for me is the best bang for the buck. It's not as expensive as the others, but you get almost all of the functionality out of it. Anyway, Jordan could not be happier, so Jordan R. out of Canada won that. Now I've got a Canadian joke. So, and I'm not picking on Canada, so I'm going to make this a little disparaging for the Americans. So 2 Americans chartered a plane to go up to Canada to go moose hunting. I've never been hunting, but I guess you hunt moose up in Canada. So they went out in the wilderness to hunt these moose. They bagged 6 moose and they dragged them back to the plane and said, okay, we got these moose. We got to get back to America with the moose. And the pilot looked at him and said, wait a minute. There's no way this small plane can take 6 moose. We have a limit of 4 moose and that's it. You got to leave 2 behind. So the Americans protested, as we do, and said, hold on a second. We came here last year. We shot 6 moose. Same plane, same flight, exactly the same pattern. We're putting the moose on the plane. So the pilot tried arguing with him a little bit more and finally gave up and said, all right, put the moose on the plane. We'll give it a shot. So they take off. They start heading for the mountain. mountain, and they're just about to clear the mountain, and the wheels catch the mountain, and the plane crashes. And they crawl out of the wreckage, and the pilot looks at him disgusted and says, "I'm done with you guys," and starts walking off for the civilization. And the two Americans look at each other and go, "What are we going to do? Do you have any idea where we are right now?" And the other guy looks back at him and says, "Yeah, I think we're right about where we were last year when we crashed." Okay, so there's a Canadian-American joke. All right, the mystery drone number 1, which was the Phantom 4 Pro V2, went to a gentleman named Kit B in Georgia. Now, I have to tell you the story here just briefly. Kit has been looking at drones. They've been staying home. He likes the drones. He's been flying drones, but he doesn't fly one like this. So when I sent him the email and said, "Hey, good news, you won the mystery drone number 1," he went nuts. As you'd expect, he went nuts because he's thinking, "I have a professional drone that I'm going to put up in the sky. This can't possibly be real." And I had to email him a couple of times saying, "Look, there's no strings here, no shenanigans. You just send me your address, we'll send you the drone." And I wanted to make sure it arrived and safely, and he's flying it. So I'm sure he's out there. And Kid, if you're watching, I hope you're having a heck of a time with this drone because this is a phenomenal drone. All right, so that's the first mystery drone. The next one was the O-Ray HDMI switch, which went to Joe D in Canada. We had 2 Canada winners this year. That O-Ray switch is a fantastic product. You can switch between HDMI inputs, and the company's rock solid. All right, the next one was, we gave away 2 mini kits. We gave away one to Rob M in Pennsylvania. And again, the mini kit was a case for the Mini and a bunch of other accessories for it. It's like the perfect starter kit if you're flying the Mini. And that went to Rob M in Pennsylvania and Mike H in Virginia. So I'm going to tell a Pennsylvania joke now. So this one's pretty funny. What do you call an Amish guy with his hands in a horse's mouth? A mechanic. Because they don't drive cars and he's fixing them. Anyway. Okay, so that's the Pennsylvania joke. All right, let's see. Giveaway next was the Wise Outdoor Camera, went to Mike B in Florida. I love that Wise Outdoor Camera. I have a bunch of them set up around the house. I think it's a fantastic product. The next 2 prizes were the Drone Valley Swag Kit, where you got a bunch of cool stuff from Drone Valley. One went to Mike W in Texas, and the other one went to Julius O in the Philippines. So he's enjoying some of Drone Valley gear down there in the Philippines. All right, the last product was the mystery drone number 2, which was the Phantom 2 Pro, Mavic 2 Pro, that went to a gentleman named John G in Missouri. Now this one's an interesting story because John, we're in the middle of a pandemic, everybody's scared about COVID, and you should be because it's a dangerous disease or bacteria or virus, but he's been very good about it. So he and his wife have been staying home, they haven't been traveling, they haven't been going out to dinner, they're doing everything right to stay safe. And it gets boring. You get cabin fever staying home. So he's looking for something to do where they can get out together without putting themselves at risk. And I sent him an email and said, "You won the drone." And he got back to me and said, again, "This can't be real. This has got to be some kind of shenanigans. You trying to scam me here?" I'm like, "Dude, I got the drone. I want to send it to you. I want you to fly it and have a good time with it." So finally, after a couple of emails back and forth, we sent him the drone. He got the drone. And I'm going to choke up when I tell this. He said, "Rick, we've been in the house for the last 9 months. We don't leave the house. We don't go traveling. The drone now gives us a reason to go out together. I'm going to read every manual and get my hands on it. I'm going to watch your YouTube clips. I'm going to be an expert pilot in no time." But this is a delightful win for me because I can now go outside. My wife and I can go to a place that's isolated by ourselves, fly the drone, have a good afternoon out, have something to do to not be stuck in the house. And I thought to myself, man, isn't that what this Christmas giveaway is really all about? To get people excited about drones, to get out there and have a good time, to enjoy each other's company, get out in the fresh air and the sunshine. And that's exactly what we're trying to do. So that one really warmed my heart. And I always worry when we do these giveaways that I send it to somebody who's just entering every contest they can enter. They're going to win it, look at it and go, "Yeah, it's worth about $2 grand. I'm going to put it up on eBay and make some money off it." When it lands in somebody's hands, like the Tello, like the Phantom 4, and like the Mavic 2, that's going to use it, that appreciates it, that's going to tell all their friends about it and their neighbors about it, that's fantastic for the hobby because less people are afraid of drones at that point, and that's just a wonderful thing. All right, the last joke I'm going to tell you to end this thing up is a New Jersey joke. Of course, I'm going to tell a New Jersey joke. So there were 2 hunters in New Jersey. I don't know why I'm doing all hunter jokes. I guess because it's winter. There were 2 hunters out hunting in New Jersey, and they were in their blind, and they were sitting there, and they were talking, and the one guy grabs his chest, falls back, and his eyes roll back up in his head. So his friend is panicking. He's thinking, "Oh my gosh, what happened to Bob?" So he picks up his phone and he dials 911 and he says, "My friend Bob just had a conniption there. He fell over. His eyes rolled back in his head. I think he's dead." So the woman on the phone said, "Calm down. Take it easy. Take a breath. I want you to go over. And first of all, let's make sure he's dead." So the guy goes, "Okay, hold on." He puts down the phone and she hears a gunshot. Then he comes back to the phone and he says, "Okay, now what?" It's a terrible joke, but it's a great punchline. Anyway, that's it for today. Again, I hope you've enjoyed this clip. To all the winners out there, congratulations. But to the losers or the people that didn't win, you're not losers, but the people that didn't win, I promise you, we're going to do a ton of giveaways this year because I love giving stuff away. And all the people we work with are really generous. DJI, thank you so much for the prizes. O-Ray, thank you so much for the prizes. And everybody else that donated prizes for this year's 12 Days of Drone Valley Christmas, thank you so much. But trust that they went to people that really appreciate them and are going to really use them. But getting back to the giveaways, we're going to do giveaways pretty much every month. And we're also going to be starting up what we're calling the Drone Valley Gang or Drone Valley Team. I'm not sure what we're going to call it, but that's going to be a separate group inside of the Drone Valley ecosystem, if you will, that's sort of in on a lot of other stuff. And we haven't started it up yet. We're trying to make sure we get it right. We're trying to figure out, what the cost should be to get in and what levels we're going to have and all the rest of that stuff. You've probably seen other YouTube channels do it. But once we get that done, that group is going to have another giveaway, at least one, probably two a month of stuff inside that group, that if you're part of that group, you're part of those giveaways. So we're going to have regular giveaways for the YouTube channel, which are going to be pretty impressive. A lot of drones, a lot of cool tech, all the stuff we review. And then we'll have that separate, let's call it a Drone Valley Club, if you will, that'll have other giveaways. So don't despair. If you didn't win this time, there's going to be a ton more opportunity this year to win. And we just love giving stuff back, especially drones, because the more people that fly, the less people fear, and the better it is for everybody. And we're a big part of that. So thanks again for watching today. If you haven't joined the Drone Valley team, hit that subscription down there and join the family so that you can definitely get all these emails when we send new clips up and stuff. I have a ton of stuff that I have to get to. We've been super busy with the studio rebuild and all the other stuff we've been doing, but I have about 15 clips that are started that are going to post over the next 2 weeks on drones and high tech and new announcements and all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely stop back, and thank you so much for all the support you've shown us last year and already this year. We're just overwhelmed with the positive response we're getting on the channel. So thank you very much for that. So until next time, happy flying.